And the convening of Montana's 2021 legislature is just a month away, and its solid Republican majority is busy working on its priorities, along with incoming Governor Greg Gianforte. This morning, MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison tells us about one of their plans that's coming out next week.
It's called the Montana Recovery Agenda, drawn up by a new free market think tank, the Frontier Institute, which is led by a former aide to Montana Congressman-elect Matt Rosendale. It calls for a conservative state budget, no surprise there, making regulatory reduction a requirement in state law, market-based healthcare reforms, and greater privacy for your personal digital info.
Of course, there are going to be bits and pieces of each of those plans that individuals might not agree with 100% of the whole thing. But I do think that the overall goal of it, protecting people's, personal rights, personal privacy, and reducing the expansion of government to the extent that government is being efficient with what we need it to do.
But while Republicans certainly want a conservative budget, Senate Majority Leader Carrie Smith of Billings says it's too early to say what that means in terms of spending levels or specific changes.
We can make ourselves more efficient. We want to make ourselves more efficient. Is that going to result in a decrease in spending over the prior biennium? We don't know that yet because we're just starting to get into the budget now.
Smith says he'll likely sponsor one of the healthcare proposals in the Institute's plan to authorize in law direct primary care clinics. These clinics bypass insurers, instead allowing patients to buy a membership for unlimited access to certain healthcare.
When you're looking at the high cost of healthcare, one of the really high costs is actually what we pay for in insurance. So if you take insurance out of the picture, and now you're dealing directly between the patient and the physician or the healthcare provider, you've eliminated the middleman.
Knudsen, the Speaker Pro Tem in the House, says he's interested in pushing for enhanced privacy protection of information held on personal cell phones.
Being able to make it very clear that you need a warrant to search through people's electronic data just as you would if you had to walk into their house and go through a filing cabinet.
GOP legislative leaders say they'll look at this plan and others and will be consulting with Governor-elect Gianforte and even minority Democrats on how they can advance an agenda to revitalize the state's economy. In the coming weeks, we'll be reporting on some of these other wish lists and proposals as they emerge. And next week, we'll be sitting down with Governor-elect Gianforte to talk about his game plan. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
The 2021 legislature is scheduled to convene on January 4th in Helena, although details of how it will operate in the pandemic and its overall schedule are still being discussed.